and welcome to RedditUp. This is a show where we discuss what's happened on Reddit this past week. I'm Chad Johnson.
I'm Sarah Lane. If you're not familiar with Reddit, we call it a social news website where you can submit stories, vote other stories submitted by others up or down. It could be a story, it could be an image, it could be a concept. You could create some sort of a meme.
Yep.
Anything goes on Reddit.
Big community. Everyone's experiences with Reddit is a little different, but here we are going to help complement your way of using Reddit. Yeah,
that's sort of the beautiful thing is that with all the subreddits that are out there, and we've talked about them on the last couple of beta episodes, we're still finessing the show. You might notice that we're on a different set, so please do give us feedback on what you think.
Testing things out.
If you like us sitting up here at what we call the TWiT Sky Desk,
Yep.
I've never actually sat on this set before until just now.
How do you enjoy the table? The table can actually move, and there's a lever over there to raise it up. See that ergotron? Don't do it now because we've taped the set down. But yeah, this is the production alley behind us. We got a RedditUp logo.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, but it's not green screen, by the way. This is physical. I could break that if I wanted.
Yeah, I don't think you should, but you could.
I could.
And that's the beauty of Reddit.
Yep. Yep.
It's breaking stuff, and subreddits are, of course, it's a community. How do you define a subreddit? Really, it's really anything that's part of Reddit that you say, you know what, I'd like us all to talk about this thing.
Right.
And let's be a part of a community, and there are subreddits of all sizes.
Yeah, there was a subreddit that was created. I'm a big Minecraft fan, and there was a server that had a glitch in one of the maps, and people really started gathering around this glitch, and then the mods found it and they took it away. And there was a whole subreddit basically dedicated to the rebellion that the server had, and there was this overhang on a map, and it was just the overhang, like r// overhang.
And that was the subreddit.
That was the subreddit.
And you got a lot of joy out of it.
So much joy.
And that's the beauty of it. By the way, just a little disclaimer. This is a pretty video-centric show. I would say some of the TWiT shows, maybe not so much. A lot of the videos and images that we show and animated GIFs and that sort of thing, you kind of want to see them, so do watch if you can. And we will do our very best not to show inappropriate language in some of the Reddit threads, but just a heads up, sometimes that gets in there. So just, be wary. But we'll do our best to keep everything PG-13.
Absolutely. So let's start off with the top news this week on Reddit. This was the stories that got upvoted the most, that everyone was really rallying behind and talking about. This whole net neutrality thing.
So this is actually an interesting Reddit entry because it doesn't actually link to an originating article. This is the Reddit community saying, let's band together and do what we do best.
Right.
It was submitted by user A 40 Degree Day, and the title is 2 years ago we got organized and beat SOPA. Reddit was very instrumental in getting the word out that SOPA was not something that the community wanted. The rest of the headline says, now we need to do it again and preserve net neutrality. So there are some clear guidelines. That's the point of this. This sort of TLDR version of this is that on May 15th, Free Press is organizing protests in Washington, D.C., which is going to coincide with the release of the FCC's new Fast Lane, which is the rule change proposal. These are just proposals at this point, so there is still certainly time to get voices heard and rewrite history, as it were. Reddit also wants to start an internet groundswell similar to the one that helped defeat SOPA 2 years ago. If you've been a Reddit user or at least follower as long as that, gosh, was it 2 years ago?
I know, it doesn't seem like it was that long. It really does not seem like it was that long ago.
It really doesn't. And then, of course, writing your congressperson, which it cannot be overemphasized enough how important that is.
Yeah, and inside of this is a self-technology post. There's all sorts of different ways to make sure that you get a hold of your congressman, and so absolutely do that. Try to get broadband classified as a telecommunications under Title II. That's what this story is all about.
So there are a lot of great steps there. If you are interested at all in net neutrality, and you should be, no matter which side you fall on, definitely check this out. We'll have this in our show notes as well. Speaking of net neutrality, who is one of the biggest champions of net neutrality is
Alexis Ohanian.
Alexis Ohanian, who, if you're not familiar with, is the co-founder of Reddit. One of them.
Yeah, so he started a campaign in association with CrowdTilt, which is basically like a Kickstarter, but also he's also helped found CrowdTilt as well. And the idea behind this is that there's apparently a billboard really close to the FCC offices in Washington, D.C., and he wants to buy out that billboard to let the FCC know how the internet thinks of this whole net neutrality.
And we're talking about a physical billboard. There is
real billboard
and it's something that
Washington,
just
DC.
to make a statement.
Right.
He says he would like to say on the billboard, keep the internet free and open for all. But then he says, if somebody has a better idea, then just tweet at me, Alexis Ohanian on Twitter.
It's like, I'm not really that creative. Just send your Twitters over.
Now, the idea behind CrowdTilt, of course, is there's a goal that a project will tilt at a certain dollar amount. So where are we now? So
we're at $10,000, which I'd like to point out that our own Leo Laporte is 1/10 of this CrowdTilt. He on one of our shows donated $1,000, and if you go, and it's a public thing. If you go into contributors and scroll down a bunch, you'll see Leo's name. So we have 14 days left. Yeah, go Leo.
All right.
He's down here somewhere.
Let's get the ball rolling. Let's tilt this thing.
I agree. Oh, there he is. Actually, there he is, Leo Laporte. So
I know that guy.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
And it has 14 days left. We have 2 weeks left to raise another $10,000.
Well, how long did it take to get to the 10? When did this CrowdTilt begin?
That's a good question.
Yeah, they should have that on. Well, anyway, that's a whole different question.
So when it'll expire.
Anyway, the point is 2 weeks. We're halfway there. If you're interested in saving net neutrality and you like Alexis's ideas, that is how you can contribute and get some actual change affected.
Absolutely.
All right, should we move on to, this is actually really cool. I always say, I want to say guy, and I have no idea if it's a
Code USA Soft, that's his username.
Gender neutral.
That's his or her username.
Code USA Soft has put together it's an app, but it's also a web app because it's only an Android app, I believe. So if you don't happen to have an Android device, you can visit the web version of this little thing. And
here's the problem, right? Everyone's you have Netflix, and basically you have an unlimited source of which videos you're going to watch, so you can never decide.
Well, except that's not true, because Netflix is really missing a lot of really good stuff. But
there's still a ton of content.
You can be crippled by choice.
Yeah,
it's happened to me, and it can happen to you.
Absolutely. So everyone makes these top 10 lists of what are the best, movie things, and he's combated that with a website that's called
NetflixRoulette.net.
And it's super simple. You just go there, and goes to an imager, which includes a link to the Android app. But NetflixRoulette.net, you can decide how many star ratings. So I'm going to choose something that has some good star ratings. Spin the wheel. And
you can choose the genre. You can also choose. Oh, Amelie. See, Amelie is one of my very favorite movies of all time. Now, what category was that in drama?
I didn't choose one.
Oh, you didn't choose one. But you could drill down to something. I guess it'd probably be in comedy, maybe more than drama. But yeah, that's great because you went by star rating, which is that's helpful.
Right, it's super helpful.
Or you can say, I love that Woody Harrelson. Let's see some more Woody Harrelson movies. He's been in quite a few of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it's like Pandora for Netflix.
It is. It is kind of like that.
Except that you can't really give it feedback and make it smarter.
Yeah, and you can go back.
And you can skip.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, without having to pay the premium price.
Right.
It's cool though. Good work, Code USA Soft.
This story, the title is I present the most incredible Goodwill purchase in the history of Reddit.
And this is not like...
This isn't like a Goodwill. This is Goodwill the store. Goodwill thrift store.
Okay.
And it links to a picture of Bill Murray's sport jersey. There you go.
Sport shirt?
I couldn't remember.
What's that thing called?
From Space Jam. Oh, you want to get up and jam? It's the Space Jam, the movie. And in the comments, people just... I
wonder how many stars Space Jam has on Netflix.
Exploded with how much they really want this jersey. And there's people wanting to give away their firstborn child. There's people saying...
Nobody should want a jersey that much.
They're saying that they'd give up their life. I mean, this thread just kind of goes on and on about how much people really want to buy this jersey.
The claim was, I got this at Goodwill. It was just sitting there,
right.
you know, for $3 or something.
Yeah, exactly. And turns out that you can actually just buy it on eBay for like $20. And so there's people going, well, in this thread,
he's getting called out by people saying, no, you didn't just find this at Goodwill. You bought this, and you're trying to make it seem like it was a find.
I think he actually bought it at Goodwill, but the poor guy didn't know that you can just buy a replica version of it.
He thought it was a one-of-a-kind.
He thought it was.
He was going to take it to Antique Roadshow.
Right. They got rid of it, and it just wound up in this Goodwill of his. And so, you know, today we learned that that a firstborn child is worth, you know, $9.99 with $10.99 shipping.
You know, we haven't even mentioned who submitted this, because apparently there was so much backlash, and people, you know, sort of, not backlash, but people saying you're an idiot, this is easily available, that the user deleted themselves from Reddit.
He deleted his whole user account.
Oh.
It was submitted by deleted.
So you're saying he too. Is that just like something we can start doing? Like some people can't call a dog a girl?
No, well the problem is that you can't, there is no English word for both sexes.
Well.
It's he, she. It's he/she. Like there is no word for
he/she
an ambiguous
was so
person.
Embarrassed that he/she deleted he/she's account.
Exactly.
Yeah, that rolls right off the tongue.
That's horrible. So I just default to guy. It deleted its account.
That should be a thing.
We need to make up that word. Let's get on that, folks.
All right, let's talk about a scary monster that lives in Indonesia. The title of this next Reddit post, widely upvoted, was, "On my recent trip to Indonesia, I got to feed the world's deadliest animal. Here's a picture." Now, I was thinking like Komodo dragon.
Right.
That's Indonesia,
something
right?
that breathes fire.
You know, Gila monster.
Right.
Something that we've never seen before.
And who is this brave individual?
Yeah, who would
feed such a fierce animal?
Well,
and
it's Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, and he's feeding.
Yeah. In fact, his
mosquitoes.
official username is "This is Bill Gates."
This is Bill Gates.
And the idea of this is, Bill Gates is, I mean, this guy, he kind of knows how to troll Reddit in the right way, doesn't he? Bill Gates is showing up all the time because he's promoting the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is dedicated to eradicating all sorts of mosquito-borne diseases.
Right.
Malaria, dengue fever is another one. I think, and this in particular was
dengue. It's for Kill Dengue Fever Week.
That's what the deadliest creature is the mosquito.
Is the mosquito, right? And either Bill Gates or his people really understand Reddit very, very well.
Yeah.
A very astute commenter pointed out that with Bill Gates being worth $76 billion and the amount of blood that a mosquito,
because it was his blood that he fed
the mosquito, that the amount of blood that the mosquito would have consumed from Bill Gates would have been worth $6,333. That tiny drop of blood was $6,333.
If only blood could be converted into Bitcoin or something, you know, we'd really be onto something. Can you do that for me, Mr. Gates?
Can you imagine?
Please?
His security detail would be like, no, please.
Right.
Don't bleed Bill Gates, please.
So this is a humanitarian story. Obviously, Bill Gates is quite the humanitarian, so it's all for a good cause, but a very attention grabby headline.
Love
there.
Love it. So I have a story that I found this week that I wanted to kind of share.
Story time.
This is the story about Minecraft. I'm a big Minecraft fan. So the Ministry of the Environment of Denmark used scanning data from satellites to recreate all of Denmark in a 1-to-1 scale model inside of Minecraft, so that everyone can download this and play in Denmark in their Minecraft. The country of Denmark.
Which is admittedly not the largest country in the world, but still, that's a lot of intricate detail.
To the tune of 4, I'm just going to say the zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 blocks. I don't even know, what is that? 4 quadrillion is what someone yelled at me. 4 quadrillion.
Wow.
blocks. The download for this is a terabyte in size.
Now, is this, I know that you're pretty into Minecraft. In fact,
Yeah.
you do a show about
Right.
it. Is this something that you're going to download?
No. Well, in fact, it's interesting because either the Ministry of Denmark of Environment of Denmark realized that this would be an issue for downloading this large of a world. If you actually go to where you can download it, they have a really cool way of downloading where you select an area of Denmark and then you can download that area, so you don't have to download 1,000 gigabytes of Minecraft data. And I'm trying to find, everything is in I believe it's Dutch. What's language?
Danish.
Danish
Yes.
at Denmark. Sorry.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it's. I've made the mistake.
So I cannot read any of this, and I cannot
grade
find the
school
download
days.
link anymore. But because poor old Safari doesn't translate automatically, but my Chrome does when I'm at home. So yeah, kind of an amazing story of a terabyte of Denmark.
You know, I don't want to sound like an idiot by being like, just why? But just why, Danish government?
I assume that someone on the government was like, man, we really need to get people to think about Denmark more. And maybe it's a place that they want to go vacation. So how do we reach the youth of today who wants to vacation? Minecraft. So let's make it. And we got all this data. Like, I don't know. Either that or it was like someone's like 10% time project. And they're like, hey, I can use this 3D map data to recreate it in Minecraft. And someone was like, do all of it. And they're like, do you realize? No, just do all of it.
You know, the Scandinavian countries get a very large amount of vacation per year, at least, you know, as it seems from an American perspective. So possibly this was just somebody's fun vacation project.
Wow.
Government, you know, they took August off.
Wow.
And they made the country in Minecraft.
Here's another crazy statistic that if it took a human 1 second to place one block, it would take over 46 million days to complete. That's 126,000 years or around 1,500 lifetimes of nonstop work. So you wouldn't get to sleep or eat or anything. You just place blocks
and you also have to live many thousands of lifetimes.
Yeah, well, I guess there's that also.
What do you mean I can't eat?
Right.
I got a lot of work to do in the next 1,500 lifetimes of mine.
You're just being a jerk at that point.
Yeah. All right, so I also picked a story. This is a little bit, you know, you choose Minecraft, and I like alcohol. So I thought that this was actually an interesting story that was explained to me like I'm 5. Why are some people able to consistently avoid hangovers while others pay for each shot with an hour spent in the fetal position on the bathroom floor? This was, I'm just really happy to say this, this was submitted by Monsieur Penis Puncher. That's his name. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a dude. I'm pretty sure about that one.
We need to keep it ambiguous.
All right. So, and what's interesting about this is that, of course, you've got a lot of ha-ha comments. But really, the comment that's closest to the top with just over 1,400 points is a good one. Says it's a metabolic thing. Your body breaks down alcohol into something called acetaldehyde. I had not heard of that before.
Yeah,
but apparently it's really poisonous. That's why we feel so bad the next day. It's what causes the flushing that people get. Sometimes people get really red when they drink alcohol. And if your liver can do this first reaction quickly, you actually sober up more quickly. The problem is that for a variety of reasons, not drinking enough water, having too much of this, how much food you've had, and your genetic makeup and all of that stuff, you know, some people just are affected
by this more.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And my problem is I don't really know where I fall on that spectrum. I just want it to stop.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess it's saying water intake is a big
intake is a big part of it, but then you're in the bathroom and you pee all the time. Some people say you take milk thistle before you start drinking because it coats your liver. So I can do some scientific experiments on myself and report back. But I found this to be, that sounded weird. I mean, drinking. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep drinking and then let you know how it went. And then, yeah, but it was a fun, you know, 200 comment or so little thread to read.
Right. I also love the scientific nature of Reddit because they're mentioning how everything's broken down, and I was kind of amazed that one of the things, like the really scary thing, breaks down into a much less scary thing which is the fingernail polish remover.
Acetone.
Acetone. It's just like that one scary thing in your body. Oh, it breaks down to something much less worse. Acetone, which you also use to remove fingernail polish from your fingers.
Yes, it's not good for you. Do not ingest.
Yeah.
Someday I'll learn, but not today.
Not today.
Hey, so what do we got up next? I think we're going to do a little video break.
Break.
We do a couple of these during the show, just gives everybody a chance to, you know, stretch it's like a 7th inning stretch type of, we're more at a 3rd inning at this point in the show. But what's our video?
Video today, and I've seen this all over, is tiny hamsters eating tiny burritos.
Oh my God!
And it has even them cooking the tiny burrito, chopping the burrito.
Well, that's a person.
Well, right. No, but he's making the tiny burrito.
Do the hamsters like the garlic? That looked like garlic. Oh my God!
This is a tiny burrito.
Oh my God!
That looks like a better burrito than I get at Chipotle. He's inspecting the burrito with a tiny mirror.
Oh.
And then the little...
It's a crayon table.
Well, yeah, that was the seat. And then he comes over. There's a little poker chip as a thing, and he takes it. He takes it in his mouth, and he just shoves it all the way in there. Luckily, there's seconds.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's the best burrito eater I've ever seen.
I know. Oh, look, he's eating. Oh, there he... yeah, he kind of devours the second burrito, too. And that... is the end of presenting tiny hamsters eating tiny burritos.
Well done.
That chef is very, very happy.
Well done. BOFH Jake submitted that, and I could not be happier. See, this is the beauty of Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Where else am I going to see that?
Nowhere.
Well,
maybe Google Plus.
In 4 weeks, somebody will share it on Twitter, and all the Redditors will go, ugh.
And then 2 months
noobs.
after that, you'll see it on Facebook.
Right. And then in a year, your mom will email it to you.
And then the grandmas
and it'll be part of a long other type of thread, the kind that you don't want.
Absolutely. So let's move on to Meta Reddit. This is where we talk about things that are kind of going on inside of Reddit or news stories pertaining to Reddit.
It's the way Reddit itself is evolving.
Right. Right. So we're going to report on Reddit in a Reddit show. It's Meta Reddit. Don't think about it too hard. Inception. So we are getting ready for the International Reddit Meetup Day number 5 coming up. This is the 5th anniversary. It's on June 14th, 2014.
And it's a global thing. These are meetups that happen all over the world.
Right. And this isn't just one location. This isn't like, hey, we've chosen San Francisco this year to be the Reddit Meetup Day. You go to your local city's subreddit. So in San Francisco, it's r/San Francisco. I remember in Austin, it was r/Austin. And then you meet up with the fellow Redditors in your town, and they have a nice little post here on the Reddit blog kind of explaining it, and pictures, which when you hover over, they tilt. It just threw me off a big time earlier when I looked at this. But yeah, so...
It just shows you how much fun they're having.
Right. Listen. It's
like, hey, you want to feel like you're on a ship that's sinking? Come to this meetup.
Like, this is before Reddit Day, is after.
That's in
Reddit
Argentina.
Day.
So again, it's there's a good chance wherever you are, there are other Redditors around you that are happy to meet you IRL.
Absolutely, and this year it's on a Saturday, so I doubt that there'll be a meetup day in Petaluma. So we
don't doubt that.
Okay,
why we could have one at TWiT.
You're right.
There's no reason not to.
I don't even know if there's a r/Petaluma. Let me look. There is. Apparently. Is it just Petaluma? Yep. Okay. Well, let's see how happening this subreddit is. Whoa, organic cold pressed juices.
That's the sort of thing people talk about in Petaluma, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
This seems like a pretty good...
Look at this. Martin Son Farms gets the okay for Petaluma Slaughterhouse.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wonderful
Juice
news.
And dead things.
Dead animals.
What a party. Hey, let's all have a
You're not vegetarian anymore, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
But anyway, that's a whole other story. There's also a privacy policy change, a few changes actually happening on Reddit. this is, you know, privacy policies. We're not just going to read out all of the legal paragraphs, but the TLDR version is that Reddit is now going to allow location-based advertising, and Reddit has revealed that it's going to release its own mobile apps, and that is something that, you know, on iPad Today we've talked about in the past. I've always sort of wondered, how is it that Reddit is such a thriving community and yet has no official apps of its own?
Yep.
They're third-party apps, and they seem somewhat not sanctioned by Reddit, but okay.
Right.
By Reddit, but why not
of,
take advantage of
right.
your? So anyway, that's the company's finally said, yes, we're going to.
My
do that.
app of choice is called Bacon Reader, and it's like
it
has no Reddit. I always wondered.
BACN or ON?
BON.
Oh, okay.
Let me triple
Does it
check.
show bacon anywhere on the?
I mean, that's kind of like a tiny meme in Bacon Reader, and
okay.
You know, it's kind of like a Reddit meme, but
yeah.
But still, like, why? Not, I guess I always wonder if it was like a legal reason they couldn't use Reddit in the name of it. But yeah, anyway.
I believe that's actually
probably true.
That's why you don't see anything called Reddit.
Our show is RedditUp. It's a single word. It's completely different.
We hope that you like it, though, people who work at Reddit.
It's just one
and
word.
Don't mind.
It's not Reddit. It's RedditUp.
It's an homage to you.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about some AMAs that happened this week. That is an Ask Me Anything. Last week we had RZA from Wu-Tang.
Woo!
One of us was very excited about it.
Her.
Rap music.
I was like,
more.
Wow.
And this week it's something completely different. It's
Betty White.
Yeah, the Golden Girl herself.
Excited.
Is she the only Golden Girl left alive? No, Rue McClanahan is still alive as well. Is she? She's not?
No, she's not. We just got this just in breaking news.
Betty White's the last one. Last Golden Girl standing. And she's been a host on Saturday Night Live. She's hysterical. She's on that show Hot in Cleveland, if that's still on the air. I'm not really sure. But I mean, Betty White is going strong, and she's like 90 years old.
Yeah. Sir Woodalot asked, what's your favorite technology innovation of the past 25 years? And she responded, sliced bread.
And then Matt
Matt
KB said, damn, Betty be trolling. And then, this is where it gets good. It's the Con Man pointed out, sliced bread was invented in 1928. Betty White was born in 1922.
Oh my gosh.
Therefore, she's older than sliced bread.
Holy mackerel.
And then dirty liberal hippie says, sliced bread is the greatest thing since Betty White.
Betty White. Mission accomplished.
Good stuff,
Everyone
Betty.
Go home.
She seemed like a very good sport, especially since she's a senior citizen.
Senior citizen.
And there were some.
It was Ask Me Anything.
There were some colorful questions.
Yep.
She did not answer all of them.
Right.
But she hung in there and answered quite a few. So
Yep.
Good work, Betty.
Yep.
Mrs. White.
Yeah. Another
whatever you'd prefer.
Ask Me Almost Anything was Larry King. Good old.
Of Larry King Live?
Larry King
I don't
Live.
think you know who Larry King is, do you?
No, I know who. He's the guy with the suspenders, and
He
got
asks
the
people's
ginormous shoulders.
He.
She.
Larry's
We don't know.
definitely a man. In fact, he's had like 13 wives or something. He's all over the place.
Whoa.
Yeah, Larry King. He's Larry King Live actually isn't on the air anymore, but he has a new show. But Aztec Prince asked, "Hey Larry, how cool are you with Uncle Snoop Doggy Dogg? I watched your interview on GGN, and it's one of my favorites thus far. Bless up." Now, I was like, what? This just sounds like a nonsensical question. But Larry King says, Snoop Dogg is one of my main men. You don't have to smoke pot to be in his presence. I love him. He's bright, he's fun, he's a good father and a good man. Snoop is my man.
Wow.
I don't think you could say anything.
Man.
They sound like they're legitimately good friends.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty amazing.
Interesting that he had to add the pot part. I love him, he's my best friend, but I don't smoke pot.
Yeah, Murray adds, you don't have, quoting, you don't have to smoke pot to be in his presence. And he says, but it helps. I'm sure.
Or poke smot.
Either
one
knows?
Works. And someone in a little bit more in our wheelhouse is Guy Kawasaki, who's been he's been a guest on the Social Hour at least 3 times, on TWiT as well, and he's well known in the internet space, obviously for various reasons, and most recently, kind of a evangelist for Google Plus, really.
Absolutely. And so Snoogie X asks, recently Google announced Shuggy X Snoogie. It's kind of similar.
Shuggy.
Google recently announced that they're going to drop Google Plus requirements to use Google for other services. Does it seem like Google Plus is dying? Is it? What went wrong? Where is the future? And Guy Kawasaki answered, haven't heard this. I still believe that Google Plus will end up being the biggest social media service when all the dust settles.
So it's sort of a, it's kind of a non-response, but he's saying, listen, I believe in it. And many people who use the service do because they know that it is a thriving community. And it's very easy to say something like, oh, Google's changing something somewhat trivial about Google Plus. That means it's over.
It's done. They're dead.
And really, at this point, we had an executive leave, and it's a whole other story. But Late Takeoff asked, I heard funny rumors that Apple and Microsoft will merge in order to compete with Google. Any thoughts? To that, Guy Kawasaki replies, yeah, and Russia and the U.S. will merge to compete with China. Basically saying you are hearing falsehoods.
Right. And back on the tech, he says, what's the worst idea with the best execution you've seen, and the best idea with the worst execution you've seen, and which one did better? And Guy Kawasaki responds, respectively, Windows and Mac.
Smiley face.
Smiley face.
Good one.
So we got Kevin Smith and Jason Muse. If you are a fan of Schmodcast or anything like that, that's a great AMA to see coming up.
Also, it was who and Silent Bob. What's the other guy's name? Jay and Silent Bob from
right. That's them. Yeah.
From
the movie
Mallrats. No.
Rats. He did
Clerks.
From Clerks, yeah.
They're all the same movie to me. I don't know.
Yeah. It's so funny because after listening to Schmodcast, which is a very inappropriate podcast,
or appropriate.
Or appropriate, depending on
the kind of person that your inclination towards humor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I was in Austin and Kevin Smith came to Austin and it was like, Silent Bob speaks. And it was like, have you not heard what he does every week on this podcast? Because that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
You ever see that movie Clerks?
No.
It
missed me.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Has some moments, but, well, it's also really old at this point. I think I saw it in high school.
Yeah.
Also on May 7th, the ACLU itself, representatives from the ACLU will be answering an AMA, and that's going to be a good one. The ACLU is obviously the American Civil Liberties Union, so they're all about protecting our rights.
Right. And then finally, Will Wheaton. So
nice.
You can ask as many Star Trek questions that you want to, or tabletop, or Geek and Sundry questions.
You know, Will Wheaton is one of my very favorite people on Tumblr.
Really?
Yes.
You follow him on Tumblr?
I do. Yes.
I didn't even think to look for him on Tumblr.
He is a very active Tumblr-er.
Tumblogger?
Yeah. He posts a lot of he posts original thought, but animated GIFs and everything in between. He's a great person to follow on Tumblr if you haven't already. But he will be on Reddit answering questions, and he is such a good sport about everything. In fact, I would say that of all of the Star Trek, people that other people are fans of, he's such a good sport about all of that stuff.
And he really grew into himself, and he was
little Wesley.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, I just love his story. He seems like a guy who's self-proclaimed to be a jerk back when he was Wesley, and then has, as he grew, learned that he shouldn't be a jerk, and is basically trying all his heart to not. And it just seems so great.
He doesn't seem like a jerk to me. He seems
not
like
at all.
A really nice guy.
Yeah, he seems super nice. I mean that's kind of what I'm getting at. So yeah.
So AMAs, if you want a full up-to-date schedule, you can just go to the sidebar on reddit.com/r/IAMA. Because we can't feature everybody, but yeah, it's gonna be a good week coming up next week, and we will have stuff to talk about a week from today.
Perfect.
So it's video break 2 time. I'm gonna stretch. What are we gonna see?
I'm not even gonna explain it. I'm just gonna play it.
Okay.
If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, acts like a duck, then it's a duck. Ooh, life is like a hurricane. Here
Is this one not doing anything for you?
Duck, bird, race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. You might
This is
solve
Thundercats, Junkyard Cats. I'm gonna say DuckTales. Like this is a whole cartoon genre that I think I experienced.
I think I was babysitting people like you. And so I was maybe more interested in talking to my friends on the phone and eating all the mac and cheese in the pantry.
DuckTales. Ooh, yeah.
Okay, now I see what's happening. But you're right. This is something that you right away were like, oh my gosh,
so excited.
you love it.
I mean, just slow jam DuckTales.
I just like the fact that she's a really good singer. And
oh, yeah.
look at the guy on the right.
He is,
You know,
what
like,
is
I don't
he
think he's
playing?
even playing anything.
What is that?
It's hard to say.
It looks like it's an electric.
I think he's just holding it and just jamming.
It does. It doesn't look like he's like. Wait, no, he's going into it.
Oh,
It's like
there you
a
go.
melodica.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
He's sort of like the saxophonist who just stands there for like most of the song and then he's got a little solo.
It really looks like an electric clarinet.
That's probably what it is. Well,
Okay, anyway, so there we go.
Web
That's
6859 in chat says it's a vape flute. That's exactly what it is. Good stuff.
I don't know how true that is, but
Good stuff. You
sure
know what we
does
should
look like
do? We should get into some what we like to call Reddiquette.
Reddiquette.
The things to do right on Reddit that a lot of people don't do right.
Right. So, you know, we've had in the past 2 weeks Reddit 101, and this is kind of very similar to that, but how to do things correctly on Reddit. And so we're going to talk about reposts. And the general idea behind reposts are that they're a bad thing, and that if you see something from somewhere else that you enjoy and you try to repost it and claim that it's either A, original content, or B, that you really modified it in some sort of way, that's really frowned upon. And so there's a few different examples that we have. There was, I'm not sure if you saw the Epic Wiggle, the cat, Epic Wiggle cat.
Can we show it now?
Yeah, here we go. So Epic Wiggle cat. Here.
Oh, buddy.
We're Epic Wiggle. So
I could watch that forever.
oh, all day long. Amazing.
Because it's like about to pounce, but nope. Epic Wiggle again.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God, I just absolutely love it. So this was posted to GIFs, to r/GIFs, by Shadowstorm440, and it got really popular. But there was another user who decided to post it later, Mr. Herpderp, to r/pics, I believe, or funny. Which one was this?
A different subreddit.
But yeah, basically a different subreddit. I have too many tabs open to see which subreddit or even which user posted which where. And it was slightly modified. It was a little bit better loop of the same GIF, but it was definitely not his creation. Oh wait, you know, yeah, it looks like I got all of this wrong. He posted to Karma, but he took it from Herpderp, Mr. Herpderp.
Point being, this is what would be classified as a repost, but it's not necessarily that anybody ripped somebody else off. It's that these sorts of GIFs evolve over time. Sometimes they get remixed into something else.
Right.
And somebody says, wait a second, you just stole that guy's GIF and made it your own.
Right.
Which does happen.
Right.
But it doesn't, it's not always a malicious thing.
Right. And sometimes it's really obvious when someone's like, my girlfriend today walked outside and you won't believe what she caught the dog doing. And it's like, that was posted 5 months ago, and that's definitely not your girlfriend who took that video, you know? And especially with something that's new and fresh, the idea is that you're stealing someone else's karma, and karma is the upvotes that you get, and they're associated with your user, so it's a really big badge of honor to have a lot of karma. And so if someone steals that karma from you, you helped create something that you didn't get recognition for, and that's really a big bummer. What's kind of funny in all of this is this whole GIF was made from someone else's video, so it seems, you know, anyway, this specific instance of the reposting and how people got upset about it is kind of funny because, you know, it was a video in the beginning anyway.
So TLDR, don't repost.
Don't repost. Yeah.
Or don't do it intentionally.
Right.
And even if it's unintentional, someone is probably going to call you out because somebody has been paying more attention than you.
Right.
And that is our Reddiquette lesson for the day.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So moving on to the subreddit of the week.
And it's called Mildly Interesting.
Mildly Interesting.
It's just mildly interesting.
Kind of cool. Here's some skylight sun rays on the ground.
What makes something mildly interesting? Because this is a subreddit that people are willingly posting to because they're saying, "Hey, I saw this thing that you will find mildly interesting." It's not going to blow your mind. You're not going to laugh for 5 minutes.
No, that puddle kind of looks like an upvote.
Yeah, that's mildly interesting.
Mildly interesting.
That's all it is.
Yep.
This garbage can is plugged in. Oh,
yeah.
That's a different one.
Kind of.
What's this one?
No, that was a good one. This garbage can is plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Hey, why is it plugged in?
It's interesting.
Why does it need to have power? It's mildly interesting.
I love. It's like this is kind of oddly specific speed limit sign.
That's fake. I call fake. Actually, though.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. That was mildly interesting to me.
Girl just posted a picture of a dress where it looks like she's see-through.
Does not.
It does. Look. It's like the hem of her inner dress matches.
That's fashion. Is something that girls do on purpose. Come on.
To really line it up with the background like that?
Haven't you guys ever been to a wet seal?
Wait, no, it looks like it's lined up with the background.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it looks like she's a ghost.
I thought
like he
was just saying, oh, look, you can see her slip.
No.
Okay.
No. It's lined up with the background. Poured the rest of my green wash liquid in the orange wash, and they didn't mix.
Oh, mildly interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Huh.
So basically, yeah. The idea is that it's not profound, but it's kind of interesting. Look, there's this sloth on the wall.
Hey, look, his little teeth.
I thought that was his hands up there too, but
you never know.
It kind of looks like
it's
a sloth.
It's a sloth wood.
I
Very
love it.
cool.
I absolutely love this subreddit. Mildly interesting. Minutes of entertainment abound on r/.
And that's all it is. Just a few minutes. Yep. But that's the thing. Is like maybe you find an image where you take a picture or you see a puddle or whatever it is, and you're like, you know, I just feel like this is worth sharing. Mildly interesting is the place for you.
Or this light bulb, which in English lasts 22 years, but in Spanish will only last 13.7 años.
Well, good thing we live in the good old US of A.
Good thing I know
where
English.
Everything lasts longer. Sorry,
that
Spain.
Makes no sense. Yeah. Anyway, so mildly interesting.
That's actually more than mildly interesting, but we'll revisit that at another time.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's. Now, our producer, Karsten, has told us we are going long, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the part of the show that I love. Today I Learned.
Today I Learned is basically things that were given to us by Reddit.
Exactly what it sounds like. We're going to start with Jude, who taught us that Harvard earns enough money on interest from its own endowment that it could offer free tuition to all students and still make a profit on the interest. But it doesn't.
Rasta Monster 0003 taught us that shark teeth are actually scales, and that's why they can infinitely grow back teeth.
Ew. Jerry Haynes taught us that most of Sigmund Freud's theories have been completely discredited to the point that almost no institution in any discipline would dare use him as a credible source. Which is funny because he was all over my psychology classes in college. Tells you a lot about San Francisco State University.
And Trin Sus taught us that a man named Vincent Okasla created a fully functional, flawless SimCity 3000 game, spending 1.5 years spanning 1.5 years of just theory and planning, and that was followed by 2.5 years of actually constructing the world. He is considered to have beaten the game.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yep.
And then we'll actually end on a somewhat disturbing video that Mr. Okasla made to chronicle this, perfect dystopia of his time.
Yep.
Magnasanti.
So this is the perfect city that you get the best points in SimCity, but yet like air pollution is horrible and you can see the population density is absurd.
I don't think there are enough parks.
And apparently, but all the people are absolutely happy except like, and he's doing math and just like, this is the scariest dystopia of what a city could be to make everyone absolutely happy.
So in SimCity, the perfect city is actually pretty hazardous to your health.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if that was real life? What if a simulation became real?
You've been to Shanghai lately? I mean, I think we're getting there.
So there we go. That is Today I Learned. Don't forget that you can submit your own stories to our very own subreddit.
We have one.
r/Reddit.
It's pretty cool. Look at it.
Freaking amazing.
Look at it.
And the CSS was made by Tom Gurley. How do you say his name? Tom Gurley.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm this right here. Tom
Gurkey.
Tom
Gurkey.
Gurkey. You're
Thanks,
the
Tom.
best. I'm sorry that I can't say your name. Maybe next week.
It's okay. It's all right. r/RedditUp is how you can, be part of our show. Submit stories you want us to talk about. Make it your own.
Yep.
In fact, take it over.
Absolutely.
Make us like your monkeys. We will dance.
We will dance.
For you.
We are monkeys.
But for now, I think we're pretty much done.
Yep, that's about it for this episode of RedditUp. Make sure that you check us out. I believe that we're going to still be recording on Thursdays. We're still the betas are recording on Thursdays around 4:30 Pacific time.
Correct.
Around 7:30 Eastern.
And do give us feedback because we still are officially in beta.
Absolutely.
We've
changed a few things around. Not sure if you noticed.
We're on a new set today. I think there's probably some feedback about that, good and bad. We'd love to hear it. Help us make the best show for you.
Perfect. And that's about it.
We'll see you next week. Bye.